You're not being nice because you're truly such a nice person and you're such a good, ethical person. You're just simply being nice because that's your only option. Because either consciously or subconsciously, you believe that if you're, confrontational, or if you say what you really think, something that might offend someone, if you stand up for yourself, whatever it may be, that if you make a joke that's a little bit on the line, you subconsciously and or consciously believe that that's going to invite confrontation and you are uncomfortable with that. You're avoiding that. And therefore, you're not getting the results that you want in life because you're unwilling to endure a little bit of discomfort. Now, this channel and what I speak about is simply your social, mental models to achieve more success in your life, in your social life, your business, your success, your dating, whatever it may be for you. And if we want to do that, we got to deal with reality, and it's that fucking simple. Because there's a lot of fluffy bullshit going around these days. And I can sit here and I can say what sounds cool. I can say what sounds right. I can say what sounds moral. Instead, I choose to say what sounds real, or rather what, is real. And so that just comes from years of experience of trying every single thing. Literally a month of trying to purposely be an absolute asshole, right? All the way on the left side of the spectrum. And, probably only a week of trying to be someone who's extremely nice. Or when I was a kid, I was actually extremely nice because I was a little fucking pussy when I grew up. And I was a follower trying to agree with everybody, trying to not offend everybody because I wanted to have friends. I wanted to, be liked by girls, whatever it was when I was a kid. And that was really only a coping mechanism. So you could say on the surface that I was a nice person, but in reality, I wasn't, because if I would have had the confidence, then I would have just been myself. And I'll give you a very simple example as well, where, I was out and about quite a while ago, and I was out in a night venue, and I was speaking to these two girls, okay? And, I was having a fun time and stuff, and this one guy came in who was, big influencer, whatever, this, that, all tatted up and this and that, and good looking fellow. And so he comes and he tries to, talk to these girls and kind of take them away to whatever after party he's got going on. And he was very, very, kind of rude to me. Now, what did I do is I verbally dominated the guy by kind of making this whole joke, being extremely loud, being like, oh, dude, you look like Maroon 5. Oh, guys, everybody come out. Girls, you got to go with him. Go with this guy. I'm not cool enough for that. All this kind of bullshit, right? I'm not going to reiterate the whole thing, but essentially just this kind of funny thing that I find funny, but it's also very dominating. What did he do after that? Well, immediately, because he consciously and or subconsciously, right, started to, basically signaled that, okay, this guy can lower my status with his words. So I need to either, the two options, the two routes that can go is, or three, is walk away, leave the situation. Number two, physically get into a physical altercation with this guy because I can't beat him verbally. Or number three is align with him so he's not a threat to me anymore. Everything in life, guys, is a fucking survival mechanism, and that's what you got to understand. It's not about how good you are, what's moral, what's right. It's about how the subconscious primitive brain interprets a situation, and it'll always steer towards the move on the chessboard that's most likely to make that person subconsciously survive, procreate, right? And what usually makes that happen is, protecting yourself, protecting, being thrown out of the tribe, protecting confrontation, those kinds of things, but also protecting having your status be lowered by someone else, right? When your status is threatened, that, kind of makes you change your behavior. It makes you either get very aggressive, or it all of a sudden your subconscious will make you like another person, even though, he literally talked shit to you, because it's just a protection mechanism. It's very weird how it works, right? But it's also very logical once you trace it back to evolution, because in evolution we evolved out of tribes of 50 to 100 people, and if someone who had higher status was talking shit to you, then you had to align with them so you're not going to get kicked out of the tribe, because if your status lowers, then you're kicked out, you don't have resources, you're going to fucking die. And that's that psychological death that we still have in our minds right now, right? We're still operating and running from that subconscious mind. So when you're dealing with people, you got to think about what the subconscious wants, not what the conscious mind wants. Consciously, everybody wants to be treated super nice, have you remember their fucking name, all this nonsense, right? But that's not subconsciously what people respond to, right? Because what attracts someone right? What is attractive is actually value. And I mean attractive within sales, within, any human dynamic, but also guy girl, obviously. What's attractive is value. And what's value is subconscious communication that signals that you are above the person, your higher status, combined with some level of rapport, connection, or safety, right? Because if you're too far, then, too significant, too out there, then, it's also not going to work. Like I just said, when I was on that left side of the spectrum, you're also not going to make anything happen, right? Everybody just hates you. But you got to find the exact sweet spot between the two things. And so if you actually, want to get real results, then you need to deal with that reality, with the subconscious reality. And then the logical kind of thing is like secondary, or even, the third thing that you think about. And so that's why you want to be real. That's why you want to be mean, if you want to call it that. That's why, you want to just behave in a way where you're not trying to avoid confrontation, where you're not trying to tiptoe around, where you're not trying to walk on eggshells and shit like that, because ultimately that's going to lead to a lack of respect, and that's going to lead to people perceiving you as lower value, even if you truly have high value. Now, if you want my one-on-one help to install a new subconscious belief system into your identity that makes you operate like that automatically, together with real world experience, to get these social results, get extreme social confidence, and therefore obviously your dating life and your business, etc., it all upgrades, then I want you to go to the link in the description, watch a little short video, and then you can book a call with me. This is my side thing. This is my passion project. I have a real business, an insurance agency, if you will. But I love doing this, and I think I can help people based on the experiences that people have had. So hope that helped, and be the villain.